We are coming to you live from $1 Million Studios. Your boys, Crispy Zach,
a.k.a. Mr. Thank You, Fuck You, Bye. Well, that's Jim Cornette, but I like that shirt. So
and the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
A.k.a. the black member of the Bullet Club.
No,
I'm not.
Speeds of the Benchmark Show here on a Monday night, August 27,
no
2018.
black members of the Bullet Club? Side note.
Side note, yeah. We're just
side
get
note.
off track.
We're going to start derailing real quick. Why is
like.
there no black members of the Bullet Club?
I don't know why that is.
Bullet Club, come on.
We'll get into that and so much more here on the program here tonight. Welcome to all of you watching us on Periscope or watching on the YouTubes, wherever you happen to be checking us out. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will share the program, like the program, all of that good stuff. We appreciate you being here. Lots to talk about tonight, Silky. We got some Monday Night Raw to talk about. We got some new stuff happening here on the Speeds and the Benchmark Show to talk about.
Yes.
And we got All In coming up this weekend. We had lots of stuff going on last week. Just lots to get into. And we want to hear from you guys as well. What's going on? Everybody saying hello to us here on the Periscopes there. We'll shout you guys out in just a minute. But we want to bring a couple of things to your attention. First of all, you'll notice the big Twitch logo down here on the bottom. Now I'm pointing over at Silky's junk there.
Yes, he is.
We are not streaming on Twitch this week, but we will be doing so very shortly. And one of the things that you can do now, because we've had several people ask us, how can we support the show? Can we pitch in a couple bucks to help you out? What can we do? Well, now you can do that. We got the tip jar going at tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. That's a Speeds benchmark tip jar. So you can go to that site if you like, and if you want to pitch in a buck or two or 5 or 10 or whatever you want to do, it's a one-time thing. It's not a recurring thing or anything like that. So feel free to hit that up and help us out here on the show. We would appreciate that. Certainly don't feel obligated to, but it's there if you want it.
But if you feel obligated to, please do.
Because as Silky likes to say,
these bills need to get paid.
Indeed they do. So we've got that. And we're also, once we start streaming on Twitch, we got some cool incentives for you guys, for those of you who are going to watch us over there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. So before we get into Monday Night Raw this evening, did you catch any of this Triple Mania this past weekend?
No, I did not.
Okay. For those of you who don't know,
Sammy won.
Yes, indeed. Triple Mania, the AAA Lucha Libre promotion down in Mexico. Several big things happening this weekend at their huge show, Triple Mania 26. Our boy, Sammy Guevara, who sat right here in $1 Million Studios and joined us in the past, won their Cruiserweight Championship. We were very thrilled for him. We also saw Phoenix win their big championship, but only after he dove through the ropes and landed in the lap of the 50-some-odd-year-old woman who owns the promotion after kicking her in the face.
That was pretty good.
Which was not good, and by far, as far as I'm concerned, the highlight of the weekend. I wanted to make sure that we showed it here on the program because I think you guys are going to get a big kick out of this. I don't know if you know this, Silky, but Vampiro is very involved in AAA. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal with him. He was one of the commentators this weekend, also one of the producers, doing a lot of his producing on the air during the show, which was kind of amusing. And by far, the best part of the whole show was when Vampiro was supposed to come into the ring and address some shit that was going on in there. And there's only one problem. And we're going to play that clip for you now. So that, and yes, Vampiro did actually fart. So loud that they picked it up on the microphone for the show.
Oh, I thought that was just...
So there was that.
Shit really happened?
Yes, it actually did.
Oh, wow.
But this is another of the...
Sean Neutron, what's up?
Great Vampiro moments. And Silky has not seen this because I wanted to get his reaction to this for the first time. So here we go. From Triple Mania 26 this past weekend, Vampiro set to make an appearance in ring, and things go a little bit sideways. Check out the video. So a little bit of trouble there with the
Wow.
music cue for Vampiro.
The fucked up thing is Matt Striker and they're all commentating this shit.
I know.
Like they're commentating stuff that's supposed to be behind scenes.
It's so good, man. It's so
like,
good.
Yeah, they're waiting for his music. He's sitting there watching while they're doing this, and they're waiting. He can't come. You know, it's wrestling, so you can't come out before your music plays. Like, who does that?
Yeah, I don't know. No audio. Of course, the audio doesn't play now. Of course, that happens to us when we throw. We'll show it to you guys again. Basically, what happens is Vampiro's sitting outside the ring, going, "Where's the fucking music?" Trying to get his music to come on. And it was not coming, and so he kept screaming into them. But this is on the live broadcast, mind you.
This is live broadcast, and he's in the microphone yelling to the people in the production, "Where's my fucking music?"
Literally dropping F-bombs and wanting to know where his music is. So,
and for the love of fucking Christ, play my music. And
for the love of Christ, OBS, play the audio. I ran this thing 30 fucking times earlier, and it worked just fine. But of course, we do it on the show, and it didn't work out. So. Check out we'll put it up on our Twitter feed at Speeds Benchmark, and check out Vampiro going ape shit because they don't play his music and he's just sitting there ringside trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, shout out to all you guys who are with us here tonight. I see Brooke over in the YouTubes. Welcome to Brooke. She loves the shirt, of course.
Thank you, Brooke.
And who we got with us on the Periscopes there, Silky?
I mean, we've got Chris Sarat. We got Alistair Fiend.
Dropping some super hearts. Get the tables.
I mean, we've got a lot of people here. It's great.
Hit this baby right here, and that'll show us. There you go.
Anthony.
Got Take the Bump with us. We got Jody with us. Brandon Apter from Get the Tables as well.
With us.
England's with us. Michael Berry Sr. Who else? Adam Awesome. Glad to have you with us. Some new faces that we haven't seen before. So welcome to all of you who are joining us. Speeds in the Benchmark show here. On YouTube, on Periscope. Hope you'll follow us and let us know what you think of the program. We always like to hear your feedback. So let's get into some Monday Night Raw here tonight, Silky. Should we start with the Braun and Roman news, or should we start with the Intercontinental title news? I thought there was some big stuff going on in both scenarios.
Let's start with Intercontinental. All
right, so Intercontinental title match. We all wondered what was going to happen with Kevin Owens after getting completely annihilated by Braun Strowman at SummerSlam. And sure enough, he was back, so that was good. And
that was good.
He went out there and had, what's up, whoever that is who I can't see from the distance
23.
Here. Oh, B. Apter, Brandon Apter, who is on Get the Tables. Another fine podcast that you can check out. And thank you, Alistair Fiend, for the Super Hearts as well. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins put on an absolutely spectacular match.
Yeah, it was a good match.
I mean, it was just great. And the one thing that I took from that when the match was over was it further proves the point that there was no fucking reason to bury Kevin Owens like they did at SummerSlam, to just feed him to Braun Strowman like that.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
No, I agree. Like we talked about it on the show. Like that should have been the way you built that up. That should have been competitive. I'm not mad with Braun Strowman retaining, keeping the Money in the Bank briefcase, but like he took a super kick. That's all the offense you got in was a super kick that he no-sold and then proceeded to choke slam you and, kick your ass. So It was just fucking stupid to go through all that. And after all the months of Braun Strowman, like, fucking him over, throwing him off stages and porta potties, stealing his car or flipping his car, all of that was supposed to lead to Kevin Owens somewhat maybe trying to get some retribution, and then it's just more of the same.
Yeah, which is very unfortunate. And Get the Table said it's the best that WWE has booked Kevin Owens in months. And I agree in that, aside from the fact he kind of came out a little bit whiny about how, if his buddy Sami Zayn would have been there, then he would have won the Money in the Bank and blah, 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 blah. But he just went out there and had a kick-ass match and showed you why those of us, and I say us because I'm one of them, folks who are fans of Kevin Owens would like to see that Kevin Owens more often. Seth Rollins wins the match, but the big news comes when we come back from commercial break, and there's KO sitting there looking like his dog just died. I mean, he looks completely distraught, looks absolutely terrible, and after a couple of minutes, he just sits there and utters, "I quit." Mic drop, and he's out.
Yep.
And that was it. And my jaw dropped. Of all the possible outcomes of that match, I did not see that coming at all. Now, I don't think that you or I or any of you who are with us here on the show are convinced that Kevin Owens has in fact quit. But
I mean, it's a vehicle. Now, where do they go from there is what I'm thinking. Because honestly, what do you think? And here could be my Negro Dominus moment.
Oh, here we go. He's even playing the music, the Negro Dominus music. So,
but I'm thinking this plays out. He's gone and basically forces them to put him in that Universal title match. So the Hell in a Cell becomes Braun versus Reigns versus Owens.
Would be an interesting take. And Brandon Apter says, I always look forward to Rollins' match. Totally agree with you there. And I'm with England as well. The best thing that Owens does is when Braun gets running full speed around the ring and takes that shoulder tackle, and nobody sells it like Owens. It's so great. Unfortunately, that was all he did was sell Braun's offense the whole time.
Owens sees Strowman running and be like, no.
So he just has to work in the Cleveland whenever he can.
Oh, here's the interesting one, Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, Paul. See, I don't see Owens as a Paul Heyman guy. He's too good on the microphone.
Yeah, he doesn't really need Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the other thing that was interesting, we'll get to the conspiracy theories in a minute, but I think this is an instant way to make Kevin Owens not only relevant because people are going to be talking about him and agree with what Get the Table said. It's a great way to book him because he's just come out of a great match. He talked about how he's not leaving Toronto without a title, and he had to. And to say, I quit, it automatically gives you, okay, well, shit, what's going to happen with him now? So I think that's going to be fantastic. And that's a good point. CM Punk was good on the mic, and he ended up with Heyman. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I know Heyman's mentioned in the past that Roman Reigns and Ronda Rousey are two that he would consider, and he could be great with either one of those, to be honest with you.
Like I say, I don't think it's got to be organic for anyone to work with Paul Heyman. And I don't see that being. You can't just stick someone with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, it's true. You're going to have to wait and see what happens. What's up, Kim? It's good to have Kim with us as well.
And let's talk one last thing on this. Let's talk about how fucking crazy that crowd went when he hit Rollins with the stunner.
Okay, you can't, and I went completely nuts for it as well. You can't be doing the stunner and have the guy kick out.
Yeah, he totally shit on
Can't do that, dude. And I'll bet you Stone Cold has something to say about that as well. Because he's one of those guys that will call out shit like that. Yeah, Brooke, I'm with you. Owens quitting, it's got to be storyline. I'm totally with you there. Now, the other thing that was interesting about this, aside from the fact that Kevin Owens talked shit to the crowd in English and then proceeded to talk shit about them in French as well, which is outstanding. I'm always a big fan of that. Yeah. Conspiracy theorists on Twitter went completely apeshit. Oh, Kevin Owens is going all in.
Yeah.
Kevin Steen's going to make an appearance at All In.
Yeah, because,
he's not going.
He's quitting his cushy job in WWE to go do this show that's only happening once, as we know right now. It's not a yearly thing. It's not a promotion. Yeah, so that's a great reason to quit the WWE. And yes, that moonsault was fucking beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. He's outstanding. Everything about him. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He is kind of a pain in the ass backstage, from if you're to believe what folks like Jim Cornette and the like say about him. Shout out to Jim with the thank you, fuck you, bye shirt. But the guy delivers. The guy delivers, and I hope this is something that makes him relevant again, and and makes us talk about him. Stop the insanity. He's not All In. I totally agree. Now, one guy that we could be seeing at All In, and we'll talk about this more on Thursday, but our boy Neville, I should say my boy Neville. I'm a huge Neville mark, just so those of you who don't know. Thrilled at the idea that Neville could be out there again and wrestling again.
He's not.
I don't know if he goes to All In, but he'll be out there somewhere. He'll land somewhere, and they will be lucky to have him wherever he goes. Now, I'm not one of these people that says he's going to be the next John Cena.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about? Neville is outstanding, and wherever he goes.
Not that. The fact that you think Neville, whose contract is frozen by WWE.
No, you missed the news, Slappy. His contract is over. He's been released from his WWE contract.
Oh, I did miss that news.
Yeah, see, Silky, what are you doing, man? See, unlike Silky, I tend to prepare for the program and try to, let you guys know what's going on. And, aside from getting the audio to work correctly. Goodbye, whoever it is that said goodbye. Chris Surratt, glad to have you with us. What a mark. Thanks, Babaruski. I am. I can't help it. I like Neville. He's great like that. We shall see what happens with Kevin Owens. Let's get on to our main event, which was another one of these silly tag team matches. How do you guys feel in the chat room? I'm anxious to hear your thoughts because WWE does this quite often. They announce these matches, and Braun Strowman, as Silky Baines, as we like to call Negrodamus, did call correctly.
I did.
The right thing for Braun Strowman to do, to not look like a bitch, is to say, I'm going to fight you on this day at this time, and here's my Money in the Bank contract. I don't have to sneak up on you. I'm going to beat you straight up, and that's the way it's going to be. And that's what he did.
And that's what happened.
And so Silky called it. I give him credit for it because I like the... Okay, we're overdoing it with the music now.
Well,
it's
I
getting
can't
a
help
little
it
bit
that
over
I'm
the top.
fucking Negrodamus, man. Anyway, I also called the heel turn.
Well, we'll get to that in just a minute.
No, you're not going to downplay
we are going to get to it in a minute.
Man.
We got to get
That's
to the
part
shit
of my gimmick.
logically.
Don't fucking shit on my gimmick. That was my gimmick. This is where you roll with it.
This is what I deal with, folks, on a daily basis.
You roll with that shit, man. Fucking shitting on my gimmick.
We have this match set up. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman. And what do? They put them as a fucking tag team together. And we see this shit in WWE all the time. Am I the only one that gets bothered by this? I want to know from the people in the chat room because it bugs the shit out of me. Because when you make a match like that, and it's a big match, it's for your title on the flagship show, so it's a big deal. Why the fuck would you put these guys in a tag team? I don't want to see them in the ring together, period. I don't want to see them have a match together the week before the pay-per-view, which they do that shit all the time. And I certainly don't want to see two guys who are allegedly going to go in there and kick the shit out of each other be tag team partners.
I mean, it can bring, if done right, it can bring like intrigue to the story of, but it's got to be, see, the thing is, no one really there was no interaction with Dolphin Drew before that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If they would have ran down and tried to beat both of them up or whatever, and then the match was made, and then that heel turn would have been even more better because now it's like, okay, they have that common enemy. They really didn't. Corbin came out and made this match with the two guys on stage with him and the two guys in the ring that are about to fight each other. So it was just fucking, I mean, it could have been done better.
I totally agree.
I think that you can do the two opponents as tag team partners, but what you have to do is get them a common goal, and then
and this random tag team match against these two fucking jabronis, it doesn't matter.
This is not like set up in one show. This is like over a couple, 3, 4, 5 shows where Ziggler, in this scenario, Ziggler and McIntyre keep beating the shit out of both of them, and then they come together for a tag team. They put their hatred aside. Oh, but they're still bickering and infighting. Can they get along to do this match? And then when Braun makes a turn, it's even a bigger shock.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
agree.
do the turn, don't fucking take the tag.
The whole thing was just...
He should not have dropped off the apron. I know what you're about to say because you were saying it. He should not have dropped off the apron, but if you take or if you're gonna take the tag, don't just stand there. Get in and run like you're gonna do something, and then turn around, grab Roman, and start beating these shit out of him.
See, this is from a guy that wrestles for a living because he thinks along those lines. Got a shout out to Dr. Huge because he's with us over at the YouTubes there. Glad to have you, Dr. Huge. Yeah, and you guys are agreeing with me for the most part there. Let me get back to where we were. Michael Berry Sr. with us, Jody with us in terms of this pairing these guys up. And yes, they did also do this back in the day, Babaruski, on the Attitude Era. But again, I think it was
done better.
I think it was done better. Yeah, this
one of the best examples of that was the 2 WrestleMania main events.
Yeah, and that's the one everybody talks to.
Yeah,
talks about Rock and Austin.
No, it was when they had the 2 world titles, and it was Cena going against Shawn Michaels and Batista and The Undertaker, and they had them fight each other in a tag team match.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, I was thinking back to Rock and Austin because they did that as well. But both of those guys were kind of faces. I see somebody making the take the bump saying beating up Roman doesn't necessarily make you a heel, which in this day and age is kind of true.
That is true.
And Brandon Apter is saying that it's that the Ziggler, and this is what Kim said as well. Now you're going to see Braun align himself with Ziggler and McIntyre, so you can see those guys against the Shield. Brandon Apter is saying that match is actually going to happen at the Aussie show, at the Australia show.
That would make sense because that's a kind of high profile match, but you can still main event because if Roman Reigns is on that show in a singles match, he's got a main event, and
he's not main eventing because they're already. I
mean,
it's the Undertaker Triple H thing.
Push that Undertaker Triple H bullshit, like.
Yeah,
that's got a main event. So this is a perfect way to give a reason to have your top champion on the show, but not main event the show.
Absolutely right. Yeah, and that's the way.
And
that's no doubt the way that they'll do it.
Last time shit is really getting on my nerves.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. It seems like kind of overkill to another match at the Super Showdown. I thought it was all Triple H and Taker.
That is the way they've been pushing it on TV, you would swear.
Yeah, Kim's pretty much right on.
If you go to Wikipedia, I think they say that it's supposed to be John Cena and Kevin Owens, but who knows? That anyone could have put that.
People throw stuff out there on Twitter all the time. I think it's... Do we really need to push The Undertaker and Triple H that much? I mean, you could just say that match is happening and pretty much be done with it, and people will be excited about it. What's up, Juanito? Glad to have you with us, sir. Dolph is going to piss off Braun before next week is over. Probably so. Dolph was looking like he just walked off the set of Mean Girls earlier today with the straightened out hair and everything. I don't know what the fuck he's doing with that. But Silky and I were talking about this earlier. I never really understand... I mean, I do to a certain extent because it's a big deal for the company and they want to say, hey, we're going over to Australia and we're doing a big show over there. We're going to Saudi Arabia. We're doing a big show over there. They don't need to push it in terms of selling tickets because they're going to sell out that fucking show no matter what.
Yeah, because there's wrestling over there. So it's not like going to Saudi Arabia where there's no wrestling. It's like there's plenty of promotions out there in Australia. So you're not entering a virgin territory.
No, not at all. Not at all. Badass corny shirt you sporting. Thank you, sir. Juanito, another Jim Cornette fan.
Yes.
I don't wear the rock shirts anymore, Juanito, because you're a great supporter of the show and, don't want to upset the great supporters of the show. So we'll deal with it. So, yeah, I don't understand the big push for...
I think if you're that big, would you burn the shirt on the show?
Burn the rock shirt?
Burn the rock shirt. Why not?
I'm not going to burn the rock shirt.
Oh, but so you're going to.
But I'm not going to intentionally piss off the viewers by wearing shirts that they don't like on the show.
Oh, so the viewers are your stylists?
What the fuck are you talking? Just what? I can't even hit the button.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I have no idea. You totally lost me.
That's good.
God, we have another month of this crap each week between Triple H and The Undertaker. That's true.
And then they're going to ask everyone and their mother. But if I was Triple H, I'd feel real disrespected. Like, hey, Stone Cold picked him, but that's about it. Like, the package we saw tonight,
well, you got
everybody was like, Undertaker. Are you kidding me? The fucking Undertaker. This motherfucker's bones is held together by duct tape and well wishes.
It doesn't matter, man.
Triple H.
It's the Undertaker, dude.
Who actually looks like he still goes to the gym, still is in wrestling shape. Nobody thought that Triple H is going to win this. Like, how is that?
It's the Undertaker, man. It's the aura of the Undertaker. I know you don't like it because you didn't even want to see him at WrestleMania, despite the fact that your boy was going to be there and get to see him do the entrance as the dead man, and I was excited for it. You had your shit in my cereal all over that.
Yeah, because who wanted to see that shit?
I wanted to see it because I was going to fucking be there.
It was bullshit.
It was not bullshit. It was very entertaining, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I bet some of you did as well. Never mind Silky being all negative and shitting on things.
It was terrible.
It was not.
It was goddamn horrendous.
It was not terrible. Michael Berry Sr.'s here with us. When's the last time Taker had a good match? I would say the Hell in a Cell match with Lesnar a couple years ago was very good. Where they ripped up the mat and everything like that.
No, I was not a big fan of that.
That was a good match.
I'm just saying. I
mean, that's okay that you weren't.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a bad match. Like, for me, it goes back to, like, the end of the era.
You think it's been that long since Undertaker's had a good match?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. To each his own. I suppose that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, let's move along here. We've got the Revival finally getting a tag team title shot next week against the B Team. Well, they got one at SummerSlam, but they got hosed, which is ridiculous. They got the win tonight, as well they should, and they continued to talk about the fact that the B team are making a fucking mockery of the tag team division, which is absolutely true, and there's no question about that. Does anybody in this chat room want to see the B team keep the titles over the Revival? Let us know now so we can permanently block you from the show and not have you come back ever. No, I'm not really. Seriously, though, has the B team thing run its course with you? Top fucking guys, Bob Aruski, I'm with you. Silky been saying for weeks that they're not top guys.
They're not top guys.
They're not booked like top guys, but they are top guys.
They're not top guys at all. I mean, you're going against the fucking B team.
I don't know what you're watching.
Goats?
Top guys.
Yeah.
You've been watching them since NXT. You see what they did in NXT.
Who? Both of them?
The Revival.
Oh, the Revival. They did good.
They did, yeah. Only two-time tag team champions in NXT history. You know, they had superb matches against Ciampa Gargano, Authors of Pain.
They did. And then they came to the main roster, and they've toiled in obscurity.
Which is what happens to most folks with NXT.
Generally what happens to most people who leave NXT.
Mr. T needs to A-team the B team. I see what you did there, Michael Berry Sr. My mute button will come in handy for anybody who wants the B team to stick around. I'm seeing in the chat room as well. Let's see. Revival needs to hit the eject button, wait the 90 days, and head to Impact. They could be huge stars. There's no fucking way that the Revival is going to Impact.
That's a terrible idea.
Don't. It's not.
It's a terrible. You really want them to go to Impact?
No, I don't want them to go to Impact.
That's
no
terrible. I mean, the whole hit the eject. I get that they're not being used right, and I mean they're having to do this shit with the B team. They're really one of the three only legitimate tag teams they have. I get all the frustration, but Impact is not the place you want the Revival.
No, I don't think you want to go.
Impact is not going to make them a star. It's going to shit on their career.
Yes.
And they're going to be back in the Indies.
So hopefully we don't see some nonsense and, end up having the B team somehow keep the titles until the pay-per-view, have some bullshit finish next week, which I would not be a fan of at all. Good night to those of you who are leaving. WWE drops the ball on NXT people sometimes.
All the time. Unless you're a mega over face, they drop the ball all the time on every heel that comes up pretty much. Goes back to the fucking Ascension. Look at what they did. They were a better tag team in NXT than the Revival.
That's true.
And when they came up, they were side notes. They were in fucking Fashion File sketches.
And that's what Bob Aruski was just saying. They haven't dropped the ball on anybody as bad as they've dropped the ball on the Indies.
Yes, that was a dominant tag team. And then, Bobby Roode's another one that comes to mind.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah,
they dropped the ball with Shinsuke. Yeah, he's...
that's debatable. I mean, he did have a pretty decent...
You got to give him a title
he's
win at some point.
He's on the decline now, I think. But when they came in, he came in pretty strong. So I wouldn't say they necessarily dropped the ball on Nakamura.
Well, and then we saw the Ascension again tonight, getting fed to
AOP,
Bobby Lashley.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and oh god, Bobby, yeah, that's it's disappointing to see.
Yeah, it is.
Ascension, Rude, Tyler Breeze, just to name a few, get the tables. Yeah, you're right on point. Not to mention on the women's side of things, what the fuck did the Iconics come up to the main roster for? You didn't put either one of them. Didn't put either one of them in Money in the Bank.
Nope.
They're jobbing to everybody. It doesn't make sense. I guess maybe if they're going to bring these women's tag titles at some point, you'll see something happen there. But
nope, they'll probably put it on the Bellas.
Speaking of which, we got a couple of returns next week, Silky. Number one, the Bellas have been announced to come back next week. And we know Get to Tables is going to be happy about this. His boy, Shawn Michaels, going to be back on Raw again. Which
I do not want to see this. I do not want to see. Why are they flying him out there to talk about this fucking match? I swear to God, man. I swear to fucking God. Like, I can't handle this. I'm almost about to be like, I can't watch Raw. I'll have to just have Chris talk about what happened just because I don't want to see that fucking package about Triple H and the old ass Undertaker. And no disrespect to both of them, but I don't want to see this fucking match, and I don't want to see what everyone fucking thinks about this fucking match. Rant over.
Is he coming back? Is Shawn Michaels coming back specifically to talk about?
Yes, they said that he was coming back and he was going to talk about the Triple H Undertaker match. They said that.
So and Silky said this exact same thing. He goes, and this is Silky's phrase, I feel a certain kind of way. He says, I'd feel a certain kind of way about this if I was Shawn Michaels. Like, you going to bring me back just to talk about two other motherfuckers having a match? I'm not even in the fucking match.
Yeah, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with him. Like, I don't understand it.
Goodness. Well, at least he gets some TV time. Because we know about Shawn Michaels. He loves that TV time.
Take the Bump says he was the special ref at the end of an era, and I get that. He was at that match. But this specific match going on in Australia, he ain't got a goddamn thing to do with.
That's true.
Not a motherfucking thing.
And Brooke says, why does it bother you guys when they promote Undertaker and Triple H too much? It's their last match, Silky. Duh.
I thought it was his last match when he wrestled Reigns. And then he came back and wrestled Rusev.
Probably should have been his last match when he wrestled Brock. And I think everybody thought it was going to be his last match, and that's why he lost it.
Yeah, you would think. And then he came back and fought Bray from that.
So you're not going to be excited about HBK coming back? You can be excited about the Bellas coming back?
No, not really.
Not really.
I mean, visually, yes. Like, for looking purposes, very excited about them coming back.
We'd like to welcome all the females watching the program here today. Always good to have you guys with us as well, you ladies. Don't mind Silky. But, yeah.
Come on, I remind women of teddy bears. And what woman doesn't like a teddy bear?
Kim, Brooke, any of the other ladies here, does Silky remind you of a teddy bear? It's the poll question for tonight. Do feel free to chime in on the comments and let us know. Bella's coming back next week. Obviously, they're going to be a part of Evolution, so we had to see them at some point. And we saw another, speaking of Evolution, big name lady from the past. We had Trish Stratus come back and interrupt Elias. And they actually had pretty good back and forth. I enjoyed that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I think it was all right.
See Bob Haruski, damn it, Silky. You and your teddy bear shit.
Hey. What woman doesn't want to snuggle next to a teddy bear?
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, ladies, feel free to chime in because see what happens. What'd you think of seeing Trish? She looks great. Looks in great shape. Great. Looks like she's ready for this match with Alexa.
I didn't understand the placement though. Like, why with Elias basically you have Elias there, which I mean he's not a big star. Let's be honest. He's not, but you'd still, like, if I was Elias, I feel a certain type of way. You're using me.
Feeling a certain type of way.
You're using me to push this, and I have got nothing to do with this shit. He has nothing to do with Evolution. He had nothing to do with the match that was coming after this set. It was just a vehicle for Trish to come out and them to talk smack, which I liked the back and forth they had. That was kind of funny. Some of it was kind of funny.
It was very entertaining. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Let's get to some of these comments. Going to need sunglasses next week to shield ourselves from HBK's shiny bald head. I think that was a shot at Get the Tables there. AJ Lee coming back next. Yeah,
I doubt it, but I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, she's another one that. I mean, I don't know. Folks seem to think that because of CM Punk's relationship or lack thereof with WWE, that she would never come back, but. You know, he said in the past that he would support her if she decided she wanted to come back, and she hasn't completely closed the door on it from what I could tell. So we shall see. And I wanted to get to we should bring back DDP to stalk Steph and Michelle McCool. You know, like the old DDP when he was stalking the Undertaker's wife. DDP is a frightening looking fellow nowadays.
A little bit.
It's there's something
not right.
There's something not right there, which I don't know specifically what it is, but it just seems off. Let's continue onward. We had the very first match of the evening was Baron Corbin, now Commissioner Baron Corbin, acting Commissioner Baron Corbin, in his match against Finn Balor again. We're continuing the Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin...
No, God!
Yeah, it was Baron Corbin and Finn Balor.
No, God, please, no!
Again.
No!
Yeah, it was that.
No!
Yeah, it was them one more... It was them one more time, and that was pretty much everybody's reaction. It was... They tried to make it interesting by having Corbin get disqualified by hitting Finn Balor with a chair, and then immediately changing the stipulation of the match and saying, "Oh, I forgot to mention this is a no DQ match. You know, I'm the commissioner, so I could do that. So ring the bell. We're starting it again."
And that makes you a failure.
Because they failed at it. They tried, but they failed at making it interesting. It was not.
Why did Corbin block you on Twitter? Who was that? Take the Bump that got blocked by Baron Corbin? What's up with that? He does seem a little bit snippy on Twitter sometimes when people talk trash about him. I met him. He's a very nice guy. Complimented me on the tattoos and was very kind to my son because my son's a huge Baron Corbin fan. I call it bad parenting, but you know, it's I succeed in other areas.
There you go.
Instead of who he decides he wants to follow from wrestling. Got to say, I was very impressed with Corbin. He was a classic heel tonight. I totally agree. ATAO 94.
Call him Captain P Break.
No, I mean, I think having a heel commissioner. Oh, that's what somebody said on here. Yeah. I think having a heel commissioner works out better because they should abuse their power. They should get you to hate them. I found it amusing that we got the "you can't wrestle" chants for Baron Corbin literally minutes after the crowd just went completely apeshit for Braun Strowman. You know, because he's quite the grappling expert, that Braun Strowman. He
is
a pretty...
I've seen it.
You've seen
I've witnessed
shit.
it with my eyes and shit.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kim. I was a big fan of Baron Corbin in NXT. I still like Baron Corbin. I don't understand the Baron Corbin hate. I mean, they're not doing him any favors by having him...
the character. I hate the character. Did I mention I hate the character?
Well, it's a straight...
Like, it's not like his wrestling skills are great and... Oh, they were blocked for calling him Captain P.
Oh, well, yeah, if you call him Captain P Break, he's probably going to block you on Twitter.
He should have a thicker skin, though. But, like, I like Baron Corbin, like, when the Lone Wolf and, like, how he was doing when he first got on. But ever since they did this commissioner or constable or, you know, Dudley Do-Right, whatever the fuck they want to call him.
Yeah.
And then now he's the acting commissioner, and it's just... fucking horrible. It is fucking horrible and laughable that you have nothing literally good for this talent.
Yeah,
this great talent. He is a great heel.
He's an extremely talented guy.
He's an extremely talented heel.
And
you have
very
nothing
good
for
heel.
him.
Yeah.
And then you give him this bullshit, which tarnishes him to the fans because all they see is Barney fucking Fife and
doing the stupid shit.
It's just bad.
Jody, do you agree that he's boring, or you agree that he's actually a good heel? I'd be interested in knowing. And no, Michael Berry Sr., we are not going to get into Braun Strowman's work rate here on the program because it would be a fairly short conversation. No, I think Baron Corbin, he hasn't really... I mean, I don't know. I can see where people get bored with him, I guess, but...
I mean, this
put him in a program.
Of
Put him in a program with somebody that's going to make it interesting. You know, put him in a program with Seth Rollins. Put him in a program with Dean Ambrose. You know, whatever. You know, he had the big long feud with Dolph Ziggler, and nobody cared about that either because people don't generally give a shit about Dolph Ziggler.
Pretty much.
So,
I mean, I like Dolph Ziggler.
I like him too. I mean, I think he's, as far as in-ring talent goes, holy shit. I mean, he's outstanding. But I don't know, something about him. Has always been kind of I don't know, just hasn't really connected with me. The drizzling shits. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I can see where people don't like him. We also had Dean Ambrose back in action against Jinder Mahal tonight.
And that's pretty much what we have to say about that standard match.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
honestly, is it just me, or has Dean not been looking as good as he did before he got injured? Like since the two matches I saw him in his comeback, he just didn't move as Chris. And it might be because he fucking bulked up and now he's got there's a difference when you're a smaller person and you put that much muscle on and you're trying to move around the ring. But it's just something that seems off to me about the way he was working, especially tonight with Jinder.
Well, you got to figure there's some, there's some ring rust as well.
I mean, yeah.
That's certainly got to have something to do with it. But I'm with you. You know, we see it in athletics all the time where guys go on, put on a ton of muscle, and then realize, shit, I can't do what I used to be able to do. Yeah. This isn't as good a thing as I thought it was going to be after all. So maybe, but yeah, nothing. But it's Jinder Mahal, and
nothing to write home about.
Nobody's really going to get too psyched about that. It did what it was supposed to do. It got it got him over there. We also had the whole Natty and Alicia Fox match where we did find out that Alexa Bliss has, I don't know what the word would be, invoked.
Revoked her
not,
rematch.
Not revoked, as she said, but invoked her rematch clause, and we will see her against Ronda Rousey at Hell in a Cell. Hopefully, this is a bit more entertaining than the SummerSlam squash bullshit that happened, because that was just a debacle. I don't know what anybody else thinks about that, but it just was not.
It's a goddamn abortion and a disgrace.
Yeah, it was not. It was not a good match at all, and hopefully they bring something else to the table. It sure would be nice. Welcome to those of you who are joining us now. Dean is also lost in the mix now that the Shield is reformed. Yeah, and let's get to that ending real quick after we catch up on a couple of these comments here. Michael Berry Sr. wants a Kurt Hawkins win over Baron Corbin.
That would be. I would like to see that, actually.
Is the only way to have him reverse the decision. Oh, that's a brilliant idea.
That's so good.
Kurt Hawkins wins and ends the streak. Holy shit, that is outstanding. Michael Berry Sr., that is outstanding. Well done, sir. That is very cool.
That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting.
You totally have Baron Corbin lose that match and then overturn the decision, and Kurt Hawkins' losing streak stands. That's good shit, Michael Berry Sr. Where the hell have you been? You need to stop by here more often. That's outstanding. Did I mention about Dean Ambrose not getting mic time? That was ATAO 94. I got to figure what to call you, boss, because I don't really know. I feel like ATAO 94 sounds kind of awkward. Yeah. But saying all the letters does too. But he was disappointed that we haven't heard anything from Dean on the mic yet, so that's okay. I think there's a fear for every wrestler when they come back from a big injury, says Bob Ruski. I'm with you on that one.
No.
You don't think there's a big fear for guys coming back from injuries like that?
I mean,
well, let me ask a professional wrestler. Silky, you've come back from big injuries like that. Did you have any fear about getting back in there and doing certain moves because you felt like, oh shit, is my knee going to hold up?
No.
You didn't?
I never have, because...
And that's why he's the benchmark of professional wrestling,
That's fucking
folks.
right. See, boom,
fucking recognize. There it is, right there.
But the reason you don't is because you can't succeed that way. It's this business. You're gonna get hurt. Like,
that's fair.
If I stopped doing stuff every time something I did in that ring fucking hurt me, I'd never wrestle.
Yeah, you wouldn't do shit.
Yeah, so you don't go in with that mindset of like, maybe the first time you try for it or something, like, for example, in Rollins' case, because I don't fly. I'm a pretty big fucking guy. If I was meant to fly, I'd have fucking wings.
I have seen you do done the Hurricane Rana in the ring. You've done some dives outside the ring. Yeah. Athletic big man, the benchmark here.
I am very. But in the Seth Rollins case, I'm saying that to say I don't have anything established. But like Seth Rollins, when he did the sunset flip powerbomb that blew out his knee, and it's like the very first time when he came back and he went for that move, I'm sure he had a little bit, but not like scared, like, oh, will this happen again? It's just like, oh, fuck, here we go. And then, boom, it went fine. You don't wrestle thinking, oh, my God, I just blew out my knee and I'm coming back, and will my knee hold up? Because you shouldn't get in the ring if your knee can't hold up. Like, you've generally been cleared. Most places, even on the indies, will require you some kind of medical clearance.
No, that's true. But I remember,
you know what I mean?
I remember seeing video on Seth Rollins when he was coming back from his knee injury, and there was a big mental block for him doing the pedigree again because he had to jump up and come down on both knees, and he was very concerned about it. And this was in training, mind you.
Yeah.
And usually, once you get that first one out of the way, you realize, okay, shit, this is actually going to hold up. It's not going to explode on me
just
again.
Like, why am I doing this guy's move? This is stupid. I hated him doing the pedigree, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm saying that, no, I mean, there's not really that big of a fear.
I'm sorry, we're catching up on Brooke's comment here. I agree with you, Silky. It's horrible. Bring back the Lone Wolf. Yes. She wants to bring back the Lone Wolf for Baron Corbin.
So, as far as coming back from injury, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean,
you never know. I think that it's always going to be in the back of guys' minds, but maybe not. We shall see. I think we've hit on everything that we needed to get to. Oh, we didn't talk about the Black Man's Kryptonite.
Oh, yeah.
Dana Brooke making an appearance tonight. Always a good thing for Silky.
Yes, it was great.
And for Kim's fiance, we found out, who also has a thing for Dana Brooke, but came up a little bit short tonight.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, it was good.
She's in the ring wrestling again,
which was great.
She's not just out there
What?
just doing that bullshit. You know, she's actually in the ring getting some work in.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she looked all right. Like, it was still, I mean, because first match and like, I'm sure she trains a lot at the PC and all that, but you know, first televised match in like 9 months, so it wasn't exactly the smoothest thing, but it got the point over that she was really wanting to go for this win, to make this statement, to beat her, and then it just didn't work out because Sasha Banks is, at least character and probably wrestling skill wise, above her. So I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. It's furthered the story, and I think I made that joke to you that of course they're gonna use the white woman to break up the two black.
Yeah,
dudes.
exactly. That was his other news. Of course they're gonna use the white woman to break up the two black. You finally get two black guys tag team, get some FaceTime on TV.
And
you go throw the white woman in there to break it up.
Black Man's Kryptonite.
What kind of shit is that? That's terrible. All right, I got to get this Vampiro video working because that's really bugging me. We're going to go back to Vampiro here again and see if I can get the audio working for you guys because it's so good. It's so worth seeing. It's so good.
Please, for the love of God, put the audio on.
I'm seeing it here, and
these
I
are
hate
quotes from there, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just using our situation.
That's not good. Well, shit. I'm just gonna have to put it out there on the Twitters for you guys, and you'll have to check it out there because it is definitely worth.
It's worth watching.
It's absolutely worth watching. So we are about ready to wrap things up. I want to tell you guys about Thursday night's show. Obviously, we've got All In coming up this weekend on Saturday. Thank you for being with us. Take the Bump. Glad to have you. Thank you for joining us here tonight. We got the All In coming up on Saturday, and on Thursday, our friend Kyle King. You can follow him on Twitter at Kyle King on Air. He is a radio host here at Sports Radio 610 here in Houston, and they do a live wrestling radio show after every WWE pay-per-view. And Kyle has had me on his Heel Turn podcast in the past. He is going to join us on Thursday for a preview of All In. So definitely check us out on Thursday. We'll be talking about All In and everything else that's been happening throughout the week. And give Kyle a follow. At Kyle King on Air is where you can catch him. And we will actually be watching All In. Well, I'm going to try to watch All In on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to see.
Kyle invited us over to his place to check it out because he's a huge Bullet Club mark, as is Silky with the T-shirt there.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I like the shirt, actually, more than the crew.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. I like the shirt more than I actually like the crew. So thank all of you for being with us here. And one request.
Too sweet?
No, we're not going to fucking too sweet.
Come on, too
Stop
sweet.
asking me to. I'm not doing the fucking too sweet. You know, the worst thing that could happen as we're talking about this.
I think we should do a poll, and if we get, or actually, how many followers do we have right now on Periscope? Look that up.
On Periscope, we got about, we're coming up on 180-something followers, I think.
I say, let's push to 100. We get 100 followers on Periscope. Chris will too sweet.
I'm not too sweet.
You will do it. The fans want to see it.
The fans don't give a shit whether or not
they want to see it.
It's the shit should have died back with the NWO. Stop doing it. It's ridiculous. The worst thing that could happen, I was going to say, is if Neville joins the Bullet Club.
That would be awesome.
And I got to watch Neville too sweeten people. Stop it. We're not.
You know you're going to too sweet. So 100 followers on Periscope. Chris will too sweet me on camera.
I'm not too sweet. This is a bullshit thing that Silky's making up right here on the spot.
On camera.
And we're not doing that shit. So once again, we've got the tip jar active now if you guys want to leave a tip for the show. The link is right there, tinyurl.com/sbtipjar if you want to do that. Otherwise, if we could ask a favor, if you head on over to the YouTube channel once we are finished here, if you could like the video over there, leave a comment on the video, not one during the live show here, but one after the fact. It helps with their algorithm as far as getting our show in front of new viewers, and that's always something that we're looking to do.
And if you do that, he will too sweet me on the air.
I will not too sweet you on the air.
Yes, you will.
But I will be very grateful.
If you want them to do this, you will too sweet.
See, look, now you got Michael. You got all these people now. You got Kim telling me.
Do it.
I'm not doing it.
Do it.
And I'm not doing the one sweet either. Bobaruskis, just stop it. I'll tell you what, we get Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, or Hulk Hogan, the only three motherfuckers on earth who should still be doing the too sweet here on the program. I'll give one of them a too sweet.
No.
Yes.
Here's what we're going to do. If you want them to do something, you've got to do something for them. They're our fan. This is how it works.
What are we doing right now? We're giving them this wonderful programming
it's give and take.
that we give
you
right
want
here
them to
every
go
Monday
in
and Thursday.
And rate and comment on our stuff on YouTube, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's only
wonderful.
fair if they go in and do that in numbers that you too sweet, because it's clear that people want to see it. So too sweet.
We're gonna have to. I think our high on likes on the Twitter videos is like 8. We're gonna have to like triple that.
Yes. So.
We get to 25 likes on the YouTube video for tonight. I'll give Silky a too sweet at the next show.
Boom. There you go.
25 likes.
Send your friends
on the YouTube video.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
And we're not doing the sweet and low either, whether it's a porn bot asking or Bobaruski, whoever it means. High five. No, we're not doing a high five.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But too sweet, though.
You don't want a high five, Silky? High five. No. Come on.
Fuck out of here.
How many likes for a high five? 25 comments, and we get a high five. And he ends the show just like that. Thanks for being with us, everybody. For the Benchmark, Silky Beans.
Yo.
Crispy Zach. We'll see you next time here on the Speed and the Benchmark Show. Good night, everybody.